Hey, it's Cassie and Tara. Welcome back to our channel. It's Friday, April 26th, and we are back with your crypto market update. Okay, so here we are on the Bitcoin chart, and since our update yesterday, Bitcoin has come back up and it has reclaimed that support there at the 236 fib at 63.6. So this is a good sign. This is what we want to see. We want to see it, hopefully for the rest of the day, continue to support above that level here, above this critical level at this 236. I do want to mention that the RSI is flatlining and the MA is flatlining as well. So there's a couple conclusions that we can draw from this. For one, that the market right now is neutral, although we're under the price MA, so it's slightly bearish, but not too much of a concern, or not really anything significant. But another thing that we can conclude from this is that there is going to be a breakout or a shift in the market very soon. And so right now, what we want to see is the price to come back up above its MA, which it's sitting at right now. The price would be around 64.4 or so. So we want the price to come back up above the MA and start building that as support as well. So that's what we want to see to confirm that the subwave 2 is complete and that we're on our subwave 3 of our 5-wave structure. So let's just have Cassie go into here in the subwaves to see if we can get any further indication of our wave 2 being complete right here.
Okay.
Please and thank you, Cass.
Okay, Bitcoin 1 hour. This is our bounce there from that wave 2 target. So you can see we've made a significant bounce from that level yesterday, and we are coming down and slightly correcting.
Yeah.
Like Tara mentioned, the 64.35 area, this is going to be critical for us to break back above into within the next day. So that was on the higher time frames. You can see that the RSI has some slight room to come and touch and close, so we get that perfect bounce off that trend line. We need to expect that still, but you can see we are right at the 0.5 retrace, and then that next lowest support level would be at 63,850. So I'm really thinking that we could get a support touch there and continue on with our wave 3. So if it does make a new low below here, it could still come to that 62,400 or 62,550 that we talked about, because it really didn't get that perfect touch that it could need. The candle closes did respect that larger 0.5 retrace, but we didn't get that larger 618 retrace touch yet. So if it does start to break down, it could be targeting that area. So it's not too much of a concern if it does break down this local low here. But what I am seeing is that we could be supporting even closer. We could not be making a new low and be actually supporting at these local retraces. We only have a tiny bit of room to support on the RSI, and you can see it's right at that 0.5, so maybe it needs that tiny bit lower at 63,850, that area. So let's just see what happens there, because that would be the next. You can see that is technically the breakout point.
Yeah, and that 618 retrace that you have measured there, that would be subwave 2 of the 3. So that makes sense that we would need that 618 again of that smaller wave before we move on to the next impulse.
Right. So we're talking these levels here. But if we make a new low, we have this next larger support here that still keeps this entire plan all intact. So that's what we're watching for in the next few hours. Yeah. And we just need a slight touch here on this trend.
Cass, maybe you can zoom out a little bit to show them that 5-wave structure, because we measured it yesterday, but I think it wasn't on the one that we posted.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Tara and I have been tracking since our C bottom bounce. We've been tracking this as a new trend on Bitcoin, which would be the larger wave 5 on Bitcoin, which Tara measured out in that, and we measured out in the subwaves as well, but that's targeting up towards 95,000. So 88,000 up towards 95,000 is what we're targeting for that larger wave 5 if Bitcoin is on that larger trend, meaning it doesn't break past that larger 236 retrace. These levels are still valid. So then we're breaking down that larger 5th wave into its subwaves, its 5 subwaves, and you can see we are trying to track this large wave 3 that should be forming. We need a tiny bit more room to come down to support, and then we could be seeing signs of a massive wave 3 up. So far, that's the plan that we're following right now and going to be tracking. So
and it is following it pretty nicely. During the next couple days or even over the weekend, I'm wondering if we're going to get that major impulse to push us up to a new high, because that's the very next wave that should be coming once these waves are complete.
It's Friday, right?
It's Friday, girl. Yeah. So over the weekend, I think this is going to get very exciting, although I don't know if we're going to have enough volume for that impulsive wave 3. But I think it's coming soon, regardless of whether or not it's going to be during the weekend or early next week. This is looking good here.
I think so too. Yeah, we need to see some volume.
Yeah, we need volume. All right, let's get over to Ethereum then.
Okay, getting some bearish news on Ethereum.
Oh, I know. Hasn't been really doing anything to the price, though, obviously.
It's been doing nothing. So
yeah,
but that could be the something it's doing.
That could be the something, yeah. All right, so here we are in Ethereum on the daily time frame. And again, we don't really have much to go off of on Ethereum because it hasn't really made any more movement since our update yesterday. It's still forming very strong support right at that 382 target fib, which is that target fib for this entire wave 4 correction. So Ethereum is trying to hold that level as support, and the RSI is still trending bullish. So the RSI is above its MA, and it has only a very small amount gap between the RSI and the MA. So Ethereum, I think, is just waiting for a move on Bitcoin or for some more volume to come in before it starts that main fifth wave. What do you think, Cass?
I think just like aligning with Bitcoin, we're going to get some kind of support test, but maybe Ethereum doesn't move too much. Just the RSI comes down a tiny bit, and then we start to make our way up.
Yeah. All right, so let's just have Casi zoom in here to give you a closer look at what's going on.
Okay, so here I am on Ethereum 1 hour. Just as Tara mentioned, not much has happened on Ethereum. Yeah. So this is pretty much what happened in the last day or so. So we're just hovering right above that larger 382 support, which Tara has mentioned a dozen times. That's at 3,115. So it's right above that right now. And it is, you can see that this is a level that it's heavily testing. So it tested as support, came down, broke back above, and now it's hovering above. So this is probably that support level that will get that perfect touch on that RSI. So this is definitely a critical level to watch so that it continues to hold. But it does look like it's going to, at this point, hold this level. Once we get our clear break out of here, and like I've said, into those fifth wave invalidation points at 3,400, that's when we can really be clear that it's on that new trend. But as it's still stuck in this wave 4 zone, this subwave 5 down here is still valid at 2,700. So we need to keep that in mind. But if we're aligning with Bitcoin and what we think Bitcoin is doing and the plan that it's on, it's probably going to support here at that local 382 retrace, which is a large degree retrace. That's at 3,100 about. So,
and Ethereum didn't reach that 618 extension, but it did hit that 1 extension, which was the same size as wave 1. And so I do think that that is still okay. For the fifth wave.
I think that's still okay. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, that wave 3 was extended right there.
Okay, wait.
So when wave 3 extends, wave 3 was extended right there.
Yeah.
So when wave 3 extends, we know that the fifth wave could be cut short and reach only the same size as wave 1. Yeah. Okay. And so that is exactly where that targeted. Yeah. And so that could be enough for Ethereum.
Yeah.
I'm just making that clear, even though we've already talked about that, I think, last week. So I think that's it for Ethereum because, like we said, really not much has changed. It still is literally just rolling along. It's not even doing anything. So, all right, let's get over to XRP then. Okay, so here we are on XRP on the daily time frame. And again, we're still testing that bottom support line here of our triangle, which is around 52 cents. And so I want to make this point clear that these triangles are very subjective. And so anybody can come in here and put this top trend line wherever they feel is most significant, and as well as this bottom trend line here. So you can see I can either use the wicks right here or even bring up that bottom one up to the candle bodies here. And you can see that that would move our test up a little bit. So in general, the test is around 52 cents. So I don't want to get too critical on if this line is at 52.9 or 52.5 or wherever it is. In general, around 52 to 53 is the test of that triangle. And that's what it's been doing for the past several days or so. It's testing that bottom of the triangle. And I just want to note that the RSI now, the MA on the RSI is trending up. So that means that our major support is shifting up and it's getting closer and moving us back up into that triangle. So that's something good. That's what we want to see. Hopefully we can break the price back up above this trend line and again start to build support inside the triangle. So let's just have Cassie go into the subwaves here to give you a closer look at what's going on.
Okay, so here I have my XRP 1 hour chart pulled up here. We can see there's some kind of local trend line that I'm tracking that it hasn't hit yet. That's at 0.519. You can see it's hitting this 6.5 retrace perfectly right now at 0.522. That's exactly where we're sitting right now. This is a really significant level. But if I zoom in, you can see it's kind of looking like a little bit of a wave 4 until we break out of this area, right, Tar?
Yeah.
So right now, key resistance is at 0.529. Like Tar said, this entire area is essentially key resistance. So we can't really say that this little sub-cent is the actual resistance. We just need to focus on this entire area and really what it's doing and the price action it's taking here. So you can see we do have some room on the R side to come down a tiny bit. And so we're still okay here. We're still tracking that bullish trend, even if it comes down a tiny bit more. So I have this trend line here that you can track. So that's at 0.519. Like I said, that's what I'm watching for this weekend. It's a test of support and hopefully a bounce back into this triangle. And we'll be back Monday with another crypto market update.